So once again, Hoop fans, Lori Shepard coming to you.
We're going to talk a lot about fantasy football rankings. I want to give the biggest shout out to high school sports.
Belly cut the defender, gets the ball, and it falls at the buzzer!
We are live. We are here. Happy New Year. Happy 2024. You are back in the huddle with Four Quarters. And it is being brought to you by Fly on the Wall Production, also on the Air It Out Facebook page and your Four Quarters Facebook page. Wheels to my right, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
CB to my left, Happy New Year. We are glad to be back in the huddle, our box seats. We weren't here on Monday, obviously, due to New Year's Day. So we got a lot to talk about. My first shout out has to go to Garrett Sicily because we had a hard time downloading the D4 championship from a couple years ago. So I'm sorry, buddy, but you're still getting my shout out. So Garrett Sicily and I have called a lot of games at the Very Odd state semifinal games and state championship games. And 2 years ago, it was a D4. I believe it was White River Valley and Blue Mountain. And it was one of the lowest scoring games. It was like 25 to 23, something like that. But we don't know who sent it to Sports Center, but it made it to Sports Center on Instagram. And it made it as a top 10 that year. And he was looking back at it, and it has 350,000 likes on Sports Center Instagram top 10. So a huge shout out to Garrett Sicily. I know it's been a couple of years, but we still don't know who sent it in.
I think it's awesome that somebody did, though.
They let Carl Parton know, who let us know. Carl, who runs CVT Sports. And I have called many games with Garrett Sicily, and we have a ton of fun at the Very Odd. Nothing better. It's the building that everybody that lives in Vermont knows they want to get to as
100%.
Basketball players.
Yes.
But it is one of the most historic buildings in the U.S. of A. And that game in particular, it was back and forth. But this kid, last name was Doobie. And
Love
he
it.
Amazing. Played quite a bit in the semifinal, hit a couple of three-pointers, but in the state championship game, he really didn't get off the bench that much, maybe a couple minutes here and there, but gets thrown in at the end of the game. And White River had taken the lead, and there literally was seconds, and it was a nice designed half-court set by White River, and they came down the other way, and they hit Doobie on the right side wing, and the clock is just ticking down.
Yeah.
And he catches it, but you can tell he doesn't fumble it, but doesn't have a good grip on it, but has no time to think about it, really.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And he just chucks it up, and the three-pointer goes in at the buzzer, and you win a state championship.
How amazing.
That's amazing.
That gave me chills.
Dreams.
Just like
Dreams of,
and
it really is the reason you play,
exactly,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For
And
moments like that.
Yep.
Very Odd has had so many memories like that. We can go back into the archives. But I remember saying, and I don't know if I said it on the air to Garrett, if he has a gal he's been wanting to ask out, ask her out tonight because you are the man.
Yeah.
You are
Right?
the man. And this young man, ice in his veins, because he was coming in cold off the
Yeah.
bench for the last few minutes
I got
of
it.
that game.
Found it. Hold on.
And it just was amazing. And Garrett and I keep in touch quite a bit, and the fact that he was looking back, and you get that many likes, of course, because it's on Sports Center, right?
Right. I mean, but what a thrill for you guys to be there
100%.
and be able to call that game and call that moment. Like,
Absolutely. And it was D4 is always the first state championship of the day. And after that, there were great games. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The other two games were fabulous. But after that, you're just like,
how do you beat it?
you can't.
Yeah.
How do you beat that? You just can't beat it.
That was a nice shot.
So did you roll with it?
Yep, we played it.
Nice. Thanks for doing that. And Garrett, thanks for keeping in touch. And my friend, You know I enjoy Barry Odd Time with you, and looking forward to it in March. So we're back. I haven't even started the timer. We're going to try to get back to 4 quarters instead of halves. Shout-outs and high school sports. I'm going to throw it to Wheels for her shout-out first.
Well, so I have 2. We'll actually have like 11, but they'll go fast, I promise. First, I cannot go and not say, in the first time in 2024, how about Caitlin Clark?
How long did it take,
I
folks?
didn't spit that out.
We've
I
been
almost
on
spit
5
that
minutes.
out.
How about
5 minutes.
Caitlin freaking Clark?
And when I read about it and saw the picture, I almost downloaded it, and I went, no, Wheels is going to do it. I'm not doing
come
any Caitlin Clark.
on, ice in her veins, people.
It's amazing.
Ice, baby.
So those of you who don't know and live under a rock, she hit the game winner last night, tied 72-72 to Michigan State. Came down, literally the ball leaves her hand, 0.1 second, step back, almost half court shot, like it was the beak of the Hawkeye.
Did you see that freeze frame
Yes.
with the 0.1 second?
Yep.
Oh, amazing.
Nothing but net.
Yeah.
Nothing but
I really
net.
hope Iowa wins an NCAA championship
so.
this year, because we're going to be heartbroken if they don't.
I am going to be
Sorry,
very
that's
heartbroken,
my
yes.
insert.
And whatever NBA team she goes to, I will now be a fan
Indiana.
of that team.
We got to go see
Shocking.
Indiana. They're
Okay.
already playing the Connecticut Sun on a weekend or something. I already
Perfect.
looked it up.
All right. Got
you
the
go.
tickets. We're
Yep.
going. We're
Okay.
going. All right. So my real shout out is so the Burlington Free Press did its top 10 Vermont sports stories of 2023. So I'm just going to list them if you guys have any input or anything. Number 1 was Becker leapfrogs Brennan as UVM's all-time wins leader.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I did not know that.
I did not know that.
At all.
Let's be honest here. I
Right?
did not know that.
So Becker is 289 and 118 overall and 162 and 30 in the American East.
Now all he has to do is win an NCAA
Yep.
game, and he'll be at the top of the
Right?
UVM Mount Rushmore.
But 162 and 30 in the American East.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Also didn't know this, which is awesome. Women coaches end drought in Division I girls basketball championship game. It's the first time since 1990 both coaches in the Division I championship were female.
CVU
cool.
and
CVU?
St. Johnsbury.
Yes.
Huge ding
Huge.
to that. Nicely done, ladies.
Yep, very
Great
nice.
programs, too.
St. Johnsbury's coach obviously is Jade Huntington, the all-time leading scorer in Vermont. So that was awesome.
Should I say
And
that
you
was the year
Utley.
I was born?
Oh god. Cheers to being old.
Oh, boy. And Jade Huntington, boy, did she have some games at that historic Barry
I played against her
Auditorium.
sister Jazz.
Just as good.
Who
and
was just as
great
good.
games at the Barry Odd.
Yep. Vermont basketball team sweep the American East titles. So both the men and women's UVM team.
Yep.
Both
Yep.
won the American East.
That was exciting. Women
The
made it
s-
interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did. The CVU boys, we're always talking about the CVU girls, always.
Yep,
And when it comes to
100%.
basketball, CVU boys claimed their first title in the 100th Division I state final.
And I'm going to give a shout out to Coach Mike Osborne, a Spalding graduate, head
Very
coach
nice.
of the CVU boys.
Heyo.
Yep. There was a new record set at the Vermont City Marathon.
Nice.
I don't know how people run for fun, but they
I was
do.
just going to
Right?
say, can't leave
Right?
the runners out because I can't run.
Right?
No.
It's impressive.
One time in my life, I did for 3 months when I lived in Florida. No, I stopped
Yeah,
running.
she
Crazy.
Megan Griffins. I'm butchering that last name bad, but she ran
It's
in
okay,
a
I do
time
that all the
of 2
time.
hours, 33 minutes, and 40 seconds.
Solid.
Nice.
Solid.
Nice. Love it.
I mean, think about what you can accomplish in almost 3 hours. And she ran. I'm like, just think about it. I'm like, okay, good for her. Shout out those that run for fun. I don't get it. It's a total different mindset than
we
what we
work
got.
with a lot
Oh,
of
my
people that
goodness.
love to run.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
We do.
yeah.
We
I mean,
really do.
wasn't Ashley like a D1 athlete?
Yeah, I'm telling you. Michelle Alberghini loves to run too. Don't
yeah.
let her fool you.
UVM. So there was also controversy. I didn't know about this either. I apparently live on a rock.
We live
when
in
it comes to
Vermont.
UVM. UVM fires men's hockey coach following
Oh, yeah.
investigation.
That was
Do you guys
recent.
know anything about that?
Yeah, no.
I
Fill us in.
I don't really. I don't.
That was
I don't
like
know.
kind of recent though, right?
Apparently, and this is all speculation.
I was gonna say.
Inappropriate text message with the student.
Yes.
That's what it is?
Yes. So that's what
yeah.
speculation, hasn't been proven or anything like that, but that's the speculation. The CVU, speaking of running, the CVU girls cross country squad races to a perfect state title.
Wow.
Impressive.
Very impressive.
impressive.
Very, very impressive. Colchester girls soccer ends 30-year title drought.
Wow.
Also, I
That's
knew they
nice.
won, but I didn't know the drought was 30 years. So that's
Of course,
awesome.
a lot of schools have droughts too.
This I did know. UVM men's soccer goes on another NCAA tournament run.
Yep.
They just keep doing it every year. So exciting. And then other like noteworthy ones. UVM women's hockey falls in the semifinals, but they made it to semifinals. Yep. Spalding girls hockey wins school's first D1 crown since
Undefeated.
2010. Yep.
Undefeated. Boom, boom.
U32 boys hockey stuns MMU for Division II
Big
title.
time. And that was seconds when that it went into overtime. One of the most exciting games.
CVU, boy, a lot of CVU. CVU baseball kept school year dominance, so they won the title.
We do need to talk about CVU baseball at some point.
Yeah.
There's a young lady we need to talk about from CVU.
And then St. Johnsbury rallies to first Little League baseball state title since 1985.
Wow. Love that.
So just some, I thought it was awesome because ESPN always does like the 2023 recap, best games, best whatever. I thought it was cool that the Burlington Free Press did that.
Vermont. All Vermont.
I learned a lot of stuff too because there's some things I didn't know about.
And now
so
you just taught us a lot too.
there you go.
Because I'm like, half of that.
Yeah.
But very impressive.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Vermont in 2023. I'm going to follow that up with a huge shout out. And CB's going to flash a picture up. We talk Hazen basketball. We usually talk the boys. We're going to talk Hazen Union Wildcat girls basketball that took aim and snapped the West Rutland Golden
God,
Hordes
I love it.
40-game win streak last week, 54-40, outscoring their opponent 20-8 in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
That's finishing a game right there.
Big, and what a
Strong
freaking
finish.
amazing picture up on the screen. These Wildcats are for real. High school sports in Vermont is absolutely
It's amazing.
amazing. And a big shout out to Caitlin Davidson and the Hazen Union Wildcats. Sticking with the theme we're going to cover because we weren't on Monday, I'm going to throw out some hardwood scores from last week forward. The first one is the U32 boys basketball team, who's having a solid first quarter of the season. Saturday, they had a 60-46 victory over Mount Anthony, improving their record to 3-2 on the season. But what I love the most is balance scoring. Eddie Sayers had 8 of the team high 16 points in the fourth quarter. Zylenga with 13 and Michael Mallett with 12 points. On the Harwood end of the boys basketball, Harwood, they had 58-37 over Middlebury. 4 players in double figures.
Wow.
That's when a team is good.
Balance, yep.
That's when a team is good. They are 4-2 on the season, and they are traveling to North Country tonight. The Williamstown boys with a 35-33 victory over the Division III defending state champs Winooski Spartans. That improves the Blue Devils to 4-2 on the season.
Low scoring.
Very.
That one is, yeah.
Evan Bailey leading the way for the Blue Devils with 15 points and 8 rebounds. They are traveling to BFA Fairfax tonight. So let's hit up the Williamstown girls, who last week had a couple of impressive victories. 60-32 over Danville to improve to 4-1.
60, that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a
and
lot of points.
48-20 over Randolph. We got Paige Dwinell with a double-double, 16 points, 10 rebounds in that win over Danville. Destiny Campbell, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists.
Solid games.
In the win over Randolph. And the Harwood girls, undefeated on the season last week with a 52-34 victory over the U32 Raiders.
I have a feeling you're going to name somebody here. I have a feeling of names. We may have heard it before. I'm just
Harwood
saying.
improves to 4-0. The Raiders are sitting at 1-3. Eloise Lilly.
That's her
19
Caitlin
points.
Clark.
Yes, that is your Caitlin Clark.
Yep, 19 points and 8 steals. And we got to play her tomorrow night. Anyways, let's talk Spalding Crimson Tide wrestling. as they rise to the occasion, we're going to give Elias Kallett a big shout out as he claimed first place at 144 pounds for the Spalding wrestling team as they finished 8th out of 46 schools
Wow.
during the 2-day Noble Invitational up in Noble, Maine.
That is
That's
awesome.
amazing.
That is fabulous.
Wow.
And this is the first time Spalding has crowned a champ in the Noble tournament since 2018.
Good for them. That is
I tell
awesome.
you what.
Definitely deserve shout out.
I get to see those Spalding wrestlers every day. They walk through our practice to go to their wrestling room. And these guys are dialed. I mean, I'm lucky if I get a smile and a hi because they're dialed. They
Right.
know they're going to the wrestling room, and it's all a business. These kids are awesome. And Spalding wrestling, if you're ever in the Spalding gym, look up at the banners and look up at the wrestling state champs. It's pretty amazing. Last night on the hardwood, we have got the Lamoille Lancers over the U32 Raiders in girls basketball, 43-24. The Raiders are hosting the North Country Falcons tomorrow night. Raiders sitting at 1-4. I will tell you this: that Division II girls basketball is going to be fun to watch this year.
yeah.
We're talking about Harwood undefeated, defending champ North Country at 4-1. Don't mess with the Lamoille Lancers either. And there's this team. They're called the Fairhaven Slaters down south.
Yeah.
And they're sitting at undefeated as well. North Country last night at home beat the Spalding Crimson Tide 45-20. Again, North Country 4-1 on the season. Spalding drops to 3-3 on the season. They will be hosting. The Crimson Tide are hosting at home. Obviously hosting Harwood Highlanders tomorrow night. So I get to see Eloise Lilly tomorrow
See
night.
Caitlin Clark tomorrow.
Yep, I get to see Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin
Hopefully
Clark.
that's streaming.
MHS, the girls basketball team with a 47-29 win over Woodstock. Ireland Donahue, no surprise here, 19 points to lead the Solons as they even out their record at 3-3 on the season. And continuing with the Hazen Wildcat girls basketball team.
Wow.
Huge win last night. Over the Enosburg Hornets. So you're talking D3 against a D2 tough squad. Enosburg's always up there in D2. 58-47. Caitlin Davidson, listen to this stat line.
I can see it.
She's got the Caitlin name already.
Yeah.
24 points, 9 rebounds, 8 steals to go along with Kelsey Revard, a freshman, with 16 points and 8 rebounds. The Wildcats sit at 4-1 on the season. I mentioned D2 girls basketball, D3.
Yeah.
Defending champ is Windsor. They didn't graduate. I don't
Anybody,
know.
did they?
I don't think so. Thetford ended up playing them. They returned their whole
Yep.
team. Thetford beats Hazen in the semifinals last year. Hazen returns their whole team.
Oh, wow.
If you want to see some good basketball, get to the Barry out in March because I will guarantee you those three
Oh,
teams
it's going to be awesome.
will be there. And that's a quick wrap on high school sports. And that's a quick wrap on the first quarter, you guys. CB, you have any shout-outs, though, as we start to turn the page to the second quarter?
No, not yet.
You're good?
Yep.
She's
You're
waiting
good?
for the perfect first 2024 shout out.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's gotta
I'm
be.
waiting for that the U.S. Women's National Team Player of the Year.
There
to
you
drop.
go.
Hey, you
Isn't
haven't-
that this week? Is
Yeah.
that no? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What's the name of the soccer program on Netflix again? You haven't watched it yet,
No.
have you? That's going to be my next
have to-
watch.
Oh
I
yeah.
have to
You
watch
told
it.
me about it,
Something. You gotta watch it.
My next shout out, as I got 1 minute to go here, it's going to be a picture that CB puts up on the screen before we get to the second quarter. And that Michigan football picture right there is Tom Brady. 24 years ago,
Little baby.
Tom Brady leading Michigan to a 35-34 overtime win over, Alabama. 24 years later,
Yeah.
Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy, and Coach Harbaugh beating the Alabama Crimson Tide this past Monday, 27-20 in overtime. Wheels, is that good football or is that good football?
That was fun.
Amazing.
I mean, I
was
watched on my
yeah.
phone.
I was on the edge of my seat. I couldn't watch. Then I had to watch. And then it was like, I turned it off. I'm like, I can't. Alabama's going to come back.
Yeah,
and
'cause
then
they always
they always freaking do.
That Auburn game, I'm still
Yeah. And I
Reeling.
just Michigan, man. I'm just so happy for
So
them.
pumped. I am very pumped for
So
them.
happy for them. That defense is legit.
That defense is legit.
Yes, and I didn't realize, but apparently before the game started, the offensive line for Alabama took it upon themselves to walk on Michigan's sideline near the defensive line people as intimidation.
Of course it was.
Real intimidating. You gave up 5 sacks in the first half. The most your quarterback has ever been sacked in a half. So, yeah, karma.
That karma is a bitch, and that sounds like Alabama.
Laura Beth is apparently an Alabama fan.
Oh, Bama. Her nickname from me is Bama.
Oh, really?
Yep. What did she have to say?
She just said, "Hey y'all, Bama here."
Oh.
Hey y'all.
From Bama. So she can do the hey
Okay.
y'all. When I do the hey y'all should look at me like I'm crazy. Because I don't know where that comes from. Tammy Taylor, if you watch Friday Night Lights, that's where it comes from.
Oh, yeah.
Bama, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I can't lie to you.
Sorry.
And here's the thing. Alabama is just so good all the time that it's nice to see a team like Michigan win. It's nice to and at the podium after, they do the MVPs now, which I think is new, offensive and defensive. But they're trying to talk to Coach Harbaugh, and he just deferred.
Yep.
You know, what happened? You know, you didn't score any points in the second half till that final drive, and he's like, no place I'd rather be, and he backs away.
Always.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Always.
Love
say
it.
what you want to say about the Harbaughs.
Exactly.
Yep.
But can they freaking coach football?
Right.
Yeah, they can.
Yo,
They're
Papa
damn good
Harbaugh.
coaches.
I
would be
mean,
proud.
I'd like to say that he wouldn't have picked a quarterback draw on 4th down to tie the game. Nick Saban, you had 3 timeouts.
I know, because
This is the play you come up with?
Wheels was keeping me in the loop because I couldn't watch. So I'm on my elliptical looking at my phone, but I was watching the game on the phone as well. And I'm like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
This is going to take forever for this
Forever.
one play. And then that was the play.
Yep. Penalties, timeouts. You literally had like 15 minutes to come up with
And that was the
play.
decision. That was
And
the decision.
that's what you came up with.
And Milrose, he's a
Confident,
cocky dude.
I don't like
so
it.
I was expecting a rollout of some sort.
As soon
like
as
he
the
did-
running back went into motion and left the backfield, I'm like, okay, they're going to do like a screen or like a option or something.
Something. But him running into that brick wall of blue,
Yeah,
I was
loved
like,
it.
oh, thank you so much for doing that.
Garrett says it wasn't supposed to be a QB draw.
What was it
does
supposed
Garrett
to be,
know?
my man? Garrett
Did he
does
text
know.
Saban?
He might have.
I mean, the
Garrett, I wouldn't doubt it if you did. I'm
Or maybe
not
that's
kidding.
what they're saying. Maybe that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
That's how
I'm
they're
sure
covering
that's
their
what
butt.
they're saying. However, Saban did say, "I made the wrong play call," or the play call didn't work, or
And my
whatever.
good friend Garrett Sicily is a Bama fan. Him and I have
But I know
bantered.
the snap was low.
It was
The snap-
supposed. It was
that
supposed to.
center had some problems
Yeah.
with some snaps that
He's saying
night.
it's supposed to be an RPO to the running back.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, we're glad they made that.
Yeah, I'm glad they messed
And
up.
like Garrett said to me in a text the next day, give credit where credit is due. And it was a fabulous game.
It was a great game.
Great game.
And Texas and Washington followed it
Oh
up with
my
a great
God,
game
so
as well.
good. But what I came out from that game, from the Alabama Michigan game, special teams matter.
Oh my gosh.
Because Michigan
Yes.
literally could
So
have
bad.
blown that
So
game
bad. So
just
bad.
by their special teams.
So bad.
I'm like, what are you doing?
They were. I was gonna throw up. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yep. Special teams matter.
And, we've talked a lot about Caleb Williams. We've talked about Michael Penix, who was fabulous in that other semifinal game. Absolutely fabulous. We've talked about Drake May. We've talked about a ton of quarterbacks this year. But what quarterback do you want to see in a Giants uniform? You want Penix?
I want Penix.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind J.J. McCarthy.
I wouldn't
He's
either.
got to sit for a year, though.
Yeah.
But I like the makeup of that guy because he is a true leader.
Yes.
He is a true leader. And how he led that last drive
Oh, it was awesome.
before the overtime, obviously.
Yeah.
And another kid I like on that Michigan team is Blake Corum. I've been cheering for him for 3
Yeah.
years. And I know we don't draft running backs in the first round, but somebody better give that kid a job in round 2 or 3 because
He will.
if
Somebody
I'm a
will.
scout,
Yeah.
I'm beating the table for that young man.
Yeah.
So by far, we're talking about how amazing those semifinal games were. The selection
awesome.
committee obviously got it right. I still We'll always stick up for Florida State for going undefeated, and you can't count 63-3 against Georgia because they lost all of their offense. One went into transfer portal, 2 or 3 sat out. Jared Verse sat out, their best defensive player. So I can't put a whole lot of stock into that game. But I guess everybody sits out now unless you're in the college championship.
I just don't agree with it.
Or the CFP, or the college football playoff.
Yeah. But I guess we're not in that position either where it is our livelihood. It is a chance for us to make millions of dollars, and one torn ACL or one torn Achilles can. So it's hard for us to say what we would do.
It is hard.
We're not in that situation.
I'm just so old school where everybody
Same.
always played.
Same.
So I'm just incredibly old school, 100% back you wheels on what you're saying, because they are going to make millions of dollars.
Right.
So it is hard. I get it. But, God, you want to see them out there.
You do. I mean, play for your school, the school that's giving you a free education, the school,
Exactly. Exactly. My other... I mean, we're in the second quarter. We're going to talk college football, obviously. We have been. But I want to give a big shout to the Missouri Tigers because I've been watching them all year. And I get they were playing Ohio State, who was like the 6th seed, I believe. Marvin Harrison sat out the game. McCord, the quarterback, went into the transfer portal. It was still their Ohio State's defense. And that's a tough-ass defense.
It is, yeah.
And the score in that game was 3-0 at the half.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I'm like, both teams.
Yeah.
And I got to give Missouri credit for coming out with a better game plan in that second half, scoring 14 points on that Ohio State defense and winning that game. And Coach Drinkwitz, I've watched you all year. I love what you're doing with a program that nobody's been talking about.
No.
He has, for the 3rd year in a row, he has one of the top 25 recruits coming in next year. So the foundation's been laid. He's building his program. You knock off Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl, I think it was, he gets a contract extension. Everybody wants to start going to play for Missouri now. And when they interviewed him up on the podium, he said these guys are a bunch of dirty, hardworking brotherhood men. And he said that with such
What a description.
confidence.
Right, and a great
Description.
You know I love the words. Those guys were just hanging on his every word, and I'm like, Coach Drinkwitz, you've made your program.
Yeah.
Don't fall asleep on Missouri football, because that to me was a very impressive win as well. The other one was LSU over Wisconsin, 35-31.
Yeah, without Daniels.
Yeah, without Daniels.
Or
Chatted with him on the sideline.
Or Napier, is that the receiver? Napier, something? Yeah.
Neighbors,
Neighbors,
yep, who's going to be a first-round pick. And one last shout-out in college ball is Rutgers. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights over the Miami Hurricanes, who definitely get a lot of kids that go to the University of Miami.
Yes.
That was their first winning season in a decade. They finished the season 7-6 under Coach Greg Schiano, who started his coaching career, maybe not started, but that's what I remember, at Rutgers. Went to the NFL for quite a few years. Actually was head coach of the Tampa Bay Bucks years ago. Got some coordinator positions, went back home, winning season in more than a decade, and beats the University of Miami.
Good for him. That's awesome.
31
Way to go home. You can go home again.
100% can go home again. And we're going to take the next 5 minutes to really shift to another side, the Major League Baseball hot stove. Why not talk about Major League Baseball? We haven't done it yet, and nobody's talking about it, not even CB, which shocks me. I know she's got a lot going on, though, besides the MLB hot stove.
Much big news.
Chris Sale was traded to the Braves.
Yes, that was. Yeah,
that's big
I forgot
news.
about that. They're taking a big risk, man.
That's a huge
How
risk.
many
That's
games
what
has he
I thought.
played in the last 2 years? He literally came back and then got injured again.
Yeah, that's
Like,
it.
But when healthy, do you
healthy,
take a
it's
chance
amazing.
on him? And they're barely paying any of Chris Sale's contract. The Red Sox are picking up most of it.
So that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That is not bad at all. So when
Yankees
he
are
is
getting screwed
healthy,
over with Ruben.
when he is healthy,
Yeah,
He's stud.
He's amazing.
so they
Very
need him
good.
to
Very
be
good.
3 or 4 in the rotation, not 1 or 2, right? And the $27.5 million salary he has for 2024, $17 million is coming from the Red Sox. $10 million is deferred. Wait for it. Until 2039.
Whoa.
2039. Yes, there are other players that defer their salary, not named Shohei Ohtani or Bobby Bonilla. Who wants to talk MLB hot stove? I do. Because, come on, CB, you got to give me, come on, Bobby Bonilla.
Every year.
Bobby Bonilla. Bobby Bonilla just came out of my mouth in January of 2024. The other thing, Red Sox fans, Von Grissom, the kid they got back, I like the trade for Boston. I like the trade. This kid is, okay, he tore the leather off the baseball at AAA, batting .330, 8 home runs, 13 steals. He's already played at the major league level. He's only 22 years old.
Wow.
So remember the name Von Grissom. Red Sox fans, Yankee fans, you might want to remember his name as well. I think this kid's going to be, when all is said and done, the Braves are getting Chris Sale for 1 year in that 4 spot, because they keep losing to the Phillies in the playoffs. So, all right, let's hope Chris Sale stays healthy. We're not paying. We're deferring his $10 million. And we're giving up a young prospect, a young, good outfielder. So this is a 1 year thing because the Braves want to win the World Series, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Red Sox got a good prospect back, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing the outfield for the Red Sox this coming season. What's the dude, Frankie Montez, your friend from the Yankees, signs a 1 year deal with the Reds. Is that a good deal for the Reds?
I mean, he
healthy?
hasn't played.
Yeah.
If healthy, to be determined.
All these players getting
$14
signed
million
have not
he got.
played.
When was the last time he played? Did he come back this past year?
I don't know.
I didn't think so.
No,
but
right?
I don't think he pitched.
Rodon came back and was terrible.
I don't think he pitched.
But I don't think
I don't
Montez
think
ever
so
came
either.
back.
I really like the other trade for the Braves, and I do like it for the Red Sox. That big signing by the Reds, I just had to throw the name out there because I know we've not talked about him in a good way for a long time. Luis Gil. Just remember that name, Yankee fans.
Okay.
That's my 25-year-old coming back from Tommy John surgery. Just remember that name. Okay, that's all I'm asking you to do. Who's still out there, though? Who's my guy?
Snell, yeah.
He's
That's
not
the
my
big
guy,
one.
though.
Outfielder
for the Cubs.
Yep.
Can see his face right in front of me.
Bellinger?
No,
Bellinger?
Cody Bellinger.
Has
Yes.
not been signed yet.
Yeah.
No, those are the two. Those are
Those are the two big guys, yeah.
Bellinger's got to go back to the Cubs.
God,
The
I
Cubs
hope so.
haven't done
I
much.
hope so. Have they made any moves?
Well, they did. They got a new manager.
Well, yeah, besides
and
that.
that was Council. So they brought in a good manager. Now you got to bring Cody Bellinger back.
Yep.
You have to bring him
to,
back.
yeah.
Where does Blake Snell go? Do the Yankees, because they missed out on Yamamoto, go after Blake
I
Snell?
think
The Mets won't, because they wanted
I don't know.
Yamamoto or
It
nothing.
feels like they have to because we need pitching.
Because then,
Who else are we going to get?
A part of me feels like they have to, too.
Yeah.
It's
I
either
agree.
Snell. There's one more arm out there. Oh, Jordan Montgomery. Let's not forget about Jordan Montgomery.
I wouldn't. I mean, as a Yankees fan, I wouldn't mind having him back. As a Jordan Montgomery fan, I hope he stays away from the Yankees.
Yeah.
Because Montgomery or Snell, they're sliding into your 3-hole, right? They're not, again, not needed to be the 1 or 2. You got Cole, you got Rendon from...
Is he our number 2? That's really sad.
I feel like we don't
You
even
paid
have
him
really
number
sad.
2 money, though, last
we did.
offseason.
It was such a bad contract. It was such a bad... That's what I was saying. It was, oh my gosh, freaking Brian Cashman.
And there it is. All I wanted to do was say MLB Hot
2024,
Stove.
the first time.
So
Frickin'
Brian Cashman came out of CB's mouth. I had to do it.
On a side note, have you seen Stanton lately?
He's supposed to have gotten on a better workout regime, and
he has dropped a lot of weight.
so he's not just lifting weights.
Right.
He might
So
be doing some yoga.
Yeah.
He needs to.
He
does need to.
or maybe stop the roids. I'm just kidding. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Kind of, sort of, maybe not really.
CB. Boom. I like it. CB's going out on a limb.
I mean, maybe he'll actually stay healthy. Maybe.
Right. That's the theory.
And
That's the theory.
CB's always had the thought process of Stanton going from playing the outfield in Miami. So playing.
Right.
That
He's keeping the blood flowing.
Was never injured.
And
Never
goes
injured.
to the Yankees, becomes
Won
a
the batting
DH.
title.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be so hard for them.
Yeah.
Like, just
100%.
Yep.
How do you do it?
How do you do it?
And when he's a strong, like, big guy.
he's an
What is
ox.
he, like,
He's
6?
an ox.
How tall is he?
Yeah, he's a
He's
big
an
dude.
ox.
He's like 6'5" or something like that. He's huge. And when your muscles are that strong and you're just going from 0 to 60,
Yeah.
going
Right.
down first base, wherever you're going, you're bound to tear something.
Yeah.
What about one last name before we go to the next quarter? J.D. Martinez as a DH for the New York Mets. Or Justin Turner. I'm not minding that veteran presence. They needed.
Who would you rather have?
My heart wants Justin Turner because he never should have left the Mets years ago. Love the grit of that guy. But I don't mind J.D. Martinez. I would rather have Turner because he's not going to strike out as much.
Yes.
But I'll take either one at this point because the Mets are done, meaning they're not going to make any move. All right, so we're now on to quarter number 3.
Real quick, Michael Orton says hi.
Hi, Orty.
He'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, no way. God bless you. I can't wait to see you. And you're going to get a New Year's hug from me, and I can't wait, Orty. Good game you got tomorrow night. Real good game. The name of the show was What Were You Thinking? So now that we're in the third quarter and we're going to talk NFL,
This could go anywhere.
Oh, my goodness.
what were you thinking? My top 3.
Oh, boy.
Number 3, the Denver Broncos for benching Russell Wilson. I know we already talked about this.
Yeah, plus they're
Just the way they handled that
That
whole
was just-
situation.
how freaking
What are you
sneaky.
thinking? Yeah, after the big win over the Kansas City Chiefs,
Yeah.
they basically told him, if you're not going to restructure,
Right.
take less money, we're going to have to bench you.
Yeah.
And you're on the way after that Chiefs game to a wild card
Right.
bid.
Yeah.
You really are.
Yeah.
So the drama that Coach Payton and the organization have drawn and the way they handled that.
I was not. I have never been a Sean Payton fan. Never.
I know you have.
And this is why. Like, I think he's a sketchy dude.
Right.
Like, I don't
can't
like his
argue with
behind
him.
the scenes shit that he does.
I
And
can't
how do you
argue
go
with
to
him.
them?
Like,
how
I
does
just-
like a player sign
Right.
with them after
Yeah.
that went down?
So their decision to trade for him, and when they traded for him, and I'm going to let you know what they gave up as a reminder. It will go down as one of the worst in NFL history because they also gave him the new contract.
Right.
Gave him a new contract. Brought him into Denver, gave him a new contract. What followed is Noah Fant. What followed to Seattle? Noah Fant, Drew Lock, and Shelby Harris. Those are the players that left Denver and went to Seattle. A 2022 first-round pick, which ended up being Charles Cross, solid offensive tackle for Seattle. A 2022 second-round pick, Boa Mafi, who's ended up being a solid DB.
Yep.
A 2022 fifth-round pick, Tyreek Smith, who is contributing as well. Go forward to 2023, a 2023 first-round pick. This is all part of the Russell Wilson trade. Devin Witherspoon, stud cornerback, just got to stay healthy. And a 2023 second-round pick that ended up being Derek Hall, another defensive lineman, who has been solid. So as we look at that, that is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players.
That's insane.
For one.
They rebuilt
That's
their
insane.
team.
That's
And
insane.
Seattle is playing for a wild card
Yep.
berth this weekend. I'm not surprised.
No, not at all.
Not surprised at all. So what were you thinking? I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know why you even made that trade. I don't know why Sean... And the clips that you watch, and granted, these are just clips throughout the season, Sean Payton is screaming at Russell Wilson most
always.
of the time when he comes
yeah.
off.
Always. Yep.
So obviously Wilson was traded there before Sean Payton
Right.
came on board, but you would have thought a veteran coach like Sean Payton
Yeah.
can make it work with a veteran
Yeah.
leader like Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
I don't
you
get
would
it.
think. But kudos to Russell Wilson for how he's handling all
Oh,
this,
yeah.
too, by the way.
100%.
Absolutely.
I mean, he could have
100%.
totally, when he was being interviewed and asked those questions, like, he was just very matter of fact. Like, he didn't put blame on anything. He just said it like it was, and he was cheering on the guy in the game,
100%.
like, first one to, you know.
Yep.
So kudos to him. He does get a lot of flack
Yep.
for a lot of things, but he's handling it like a professional.
He
So,
really is, and they're going to have to, whether it's a June 1st cut, I don't know what it's going to be, but they're not going to get anything.
No.
Nope.
They're going to pay.
No.
If it's June 1st, they're going to cut some of the millions off, but they're still going to be paying this
Oh, yeah.
guy a ton of money.
Yeah.
And God bless Russell Wilson. You're going to pick where you want to play next, whether it be Washington, Atlanta, or whoever.
I mean, there are plenty of teams that need a
Oh,
veteran
absolutely.
quarterback.
Absolutely.
And he comes from like when he was with Seattle, where he had success, it's a run-heavy
Yeah.
offense.
Yeah.
I can't help but look at the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, if they learn how to use Bijan Robinson, and I think Russell Wilson would only help him. Number 2 on my what were you thinking list is Coach Campbell of the Detroit Lions. Fabulous game Saturday night. Absolutely fabulous game. So you got 2 people that are saying because they got the 2-point conversion, but the lineman hadn't, what is it called, checked in?
Reported
in.
or whatever.
Numbers 50 through 79, 90 through 99. You gotta report, and the defense has gotta, they have to be let known. But God, it was exciting when
it was
you
awesome.
thought they had won it.
It would have been an illegal formation anyway.
Right. So they get backed up 5 more yards.
Yep.
And Coach Campbell decides to still go for the 2-point conversion and the win. CB and I said, at that point, kick the extra point and go into overtime. Wheels, you still...
I liked it. I still like it. I mean, they've already made the playoffs. I get that it may have got them a home game. I don't really know about that, but...
To be determined.
Yeah.
They'll get a home game.
They will.
Because they won their division.
So I don't
a home game.
I think in the grand scheme of things, I like it. I think Campbell took a chance. He was aggressive. He trusted his guys. I think Jared Goff made a terrible throw. But
I do love Jared Goff.
I do too. And I love the Lions. I think they play with heart. They play like Dan Campbell coaches. And
100%.
So I liked it. I might
How
be a
many
minority,
times did he go?
I liked
he go
it.
for it on 4th down?
Yeah, he's leading the way in the
every
NFL.
Single time.
Yeah.
I just, after the penalty, was like, oh, yeah, you're not going to, don't. You're not
I didn't
gonna
think he
score.
was
I'm just pissed because
I'm like, kick it and go to overtime.
I had to choose my upset game.
Right.
And then
You did.
I was like, oh, I'll have till Sunday because there's no way you're going to not choose the Cowboys at home. But then I was like thinking, oh, Detroit's got a good running game. I was like, let's just go for it.
Yep.
Because you guys chose like really good like upset games. I didn't want to be safe and just choose like the Colts.
And you were this close.
So
and I was
close,
I was like
CD.
watching that game and I was like up till
So
midnight. I was
close.
like, God.
Right?
It was a
so
great
close.
game. Great game.
I mean, and Detroit could have won easily if they knew how to cover this guy, number 88 on the Cowboys.
But even with that,
I get how good he is, but come on.
that 93 yards? 92
where
yards.
he ate a hot dog,
Yeah.
grabbed a soda, bag
Basically,
of popcorn,
yep.
then said, I'll go into the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my number 1, what were you thinking?
This is personal.
Nope. Yep.
Yep.
Goes to Mike McDaniels, Coach McDaniels, and the Miami Dolphins Brain Trust.
That gets the trash.
And here we go. Here we go. I am a long-suffering Dolphin fan. I have never trashed Mike McDaniels once in the last 2 years.
You have not, actually.
Yeah,
Very
you have
impressed
not.
with him.
Yep.
Love the guy leading the organization. You are down by 35 points, and it doesn't even matter. It might have been 38. I can't even remember.
You were winning
done.
that game.
You were done
not
at the
winning that
half.
game.
Correct.
It was 14-13, and then the Ravens went bam, bam.
Yep.
And it was 28 going into the half. You are not going to recover because it's the Baltimore Ravens, number 1.
Right.
Okay? All done. All done.
Yeah.
With 4 minutes to go in the game, his defensive starters are still out there.
Stupid.
We've already lost Jalen Phillips a month ago to an Achilles tear. So there's 6.5, 7 sacks, one of our defensive ends. You got to have defensive ends.
Right.
Yeah. You got no
yeah.
defense without it. Bradley Chubb is our stud. Traded for him, gave up a first-round pick. He's our stud. 11 sacks on the season, and Bradley Chubb is still out there with
Stupid.
4 minutes to go.
Stupid.
And if you blink, he's then carted off the field with a blown ACL.
Yep.
That, my friends, is not smart decision making by your coach.
Not only do you miss him for the playoffs, but most of next year.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb.
Yep. Yeah.
Because already in my head, I'm like, oh, we got to draft a defensive end. We're going to have to get one in free agency. And we had 2 bookend studs.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as you all recalled, a month ago, I said the Buffalo Bills are going to win the AFC East. A month ago,
did.
I said that. And guess what we're playing for in Week 18?
Yep.
The AFC East crown. And I know it's going to be in CB's 6-pack of picks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I tell you what,
I just think it's
any
crazy.
of you pick the Dolphins, you're crazy.
Yeah. I just think it's crazy that Buffalo can either be the number 2 seed in the
Or
playoffs
not get in.
Or not get in.
Yep.
That
Yeah.
that is crazy.
That is just nuts.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yep.
That is crazy. My positive, what were you thinking, goes out to head coach Andy Reid. There's a good head coach right there. Sorry, Mike McDaniel, you're on my naughty list. You're on my shit list. Let's be honest here. Chiefs are struggling going into that game with the Bengals. So what head coach Andy Reid did was he whittled down the normal game plan in his massive playbook. He whittled it down. I don't know if it was for Patrick Mahomes, the offensive lineman, or those wide receivers. I do like Rashee Rice, though.
Yes.
Good for him for saying this isn't working. Yep. Maybe we don't have the personnel. We do, but Travis Kelce's getting mugged by everybody on defense.
Yep.
And we're going to whittle it down. We're going to simplify it a little bit. And they came away with a much-needed win.
It wasn't pretty.
It was not a great
pretty.
game.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
And I tell you what, if Joe Burrow was at quarterback,
They would have.
Cincinnati
They
would
would
have
have
beat
lost.
him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
mean, Browning, he played well, but he's just
Yeah.
not Joe Cool. Like,
Right.
he's just not. So
out of that, before we talk about wishes or what is happening for 2024, one and done in the playoffs. Number 3, Jacksonville. Number 2, the Eagles. Number 1, the Miami Dolphins. I'm done. Okay, so
and with that,
with that, I saved the best for the end of the season. You guys got to complain about the Giants. Don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
For the
Right?
first, 8-10 weeks.
yeah.
I wanted to sit here in week 17, and I wanted to say to you guys, I'm so proud of the Dolphins. Those words wanted to come out of my mouth.
They were sitting there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep, and
Very close.
playing in week 18 for the AFC East crown should not be happening.
No.
Let's go back to that Tennessee Titans game on
Yep.
Monday
Oh,
night
yep.
when you're up by 2 scores with 3 or 4 minutes to go.
Yeah.
You win that game, and I will sit here. No, I wouldn't, because if Bradley Chubb was still in there with 4 minutes to go, I'd still be mad. But you wouldn't be playing for the AFC East crown.
Yeah.
No way, not at all. All right, so I got some fun stuff for you guys. So our 2024, it's the wishes for 2024, or we think it's happening.
Okay.
The Patriots are going to say goodbye to the end of an era. Do we wish it's going to happen, or it's happening?
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Yep.
Don't you
It's
think?
time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Okay. Do the Broncos cut down on the drama? Is it happening, or do we wish it would just stop? I would wish it. I wish it just stopped.
I wish,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going
I
to
don't
stop.
No.
The Chargers,
Oh, God.
with all that talent, hire an offensive genius as their new head coach.
Wish.
They should.
Wish,
Wish.
but probably won't.
Yes, they
I'm
should.
going to go,
Should
it's
they?
happening, and his name is Jim Harbaugh.
Oh. Interesting.
Just throwing that one out there.
You
okay?
think Harbaugh would come to the NFL and not be a head coach?
Oh, no, he's going to be the head coach.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
sorry. When I
okay.
said an offensive-minded head coach.
Oh, okay.
My bad,
Okay.
my
Okay.
bad.
I thought you meant
Yeah, no.
I thought you
say.
meant offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I
no,
thought you meant
okay.
an offensive-minded head
Okay,
coach
that's different.
for
Okay.
the
Yes.
Chargers.
Yeah.
Happening.
That's where
Yeah,
I'm
that-
going with
yeah.
that. The Chiefs get a reliable wide receiver in the offseason.
Well, I know Patrick Mahomes wishes.
Wishes?
Yes. Yes.
Do we think it's happening, or do we think they're just
They
going to
need
go
to.
with who
They
they
have
They
to.
need to.
They
They
have
need to make
to.
some change.
There's
Okay.
no way Patrick's not going to go to them
Yeah.
and be like, get me a freaking
Yeah.
receiver and
Right.
get it now.
They need
Right.
to take
Yeah.
someone to take off the heat from Kelsey.
Yep.
Antonio Pierce is a head coach of the Raiders.
I hope so.
It's got to happen.
Gotta.
It's gotta happen.
It's got to
No
happen.
wish, no
has
This
to.
is
gonna.
not a
It's
wish.
gotta.
It's gotta.
If the Raiders
I would
let
be so
him
happy.
leave town, leave bright
Stupid.
lights of Las Vegas,
Stupid.
Yep.
the Bears replace Justin Fields.
So tough.
It should not. It, should
should
not
not.
happen.
It
Should be on our
It
list
shouldn't.
too.
It shouldn't.
They should
It
take
should
their
not.
that number one pick and either take Harrison, which nobody drafts, them
Right.
number one ever,
Right.
or trade it.
Trade it.
Yep.
I would trade it.
Trade it.
Trade it.
Yeah.
Because they're still going to have 2 picks in the top 12, I
Yeah.
think. And what a solid team.
Right?
Yeah.
Wheels
'cause
not
that-
off with that
Yeah.
prediction of the
I
Bears
know.
going to the playoff at the beginning of the year.
I still have hope, man. Justin Fields, I still have hope.
No, we're not going to do that one. Do the Washington Commanders turn the page on their entire coaching staff?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Happening.
happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. Okay.
Ron Rivera's coaching his last game this
Yep.
weekend.
Yep.
Do the New York Giants fix the offensive
gosh.
line?
Do they
Do
ever?
we wish it happens, or do we think it's going to happen? I think we're wishing.
Yeah.
Because I
Wish.
think they're going to go with their young guys and just pray that they can stay healthy. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see in the draft. The Bengals reinvest in Joe Burrow's protection. They went out and got Orlando
to.
Brown.
They have
to.
They have to.
They got the top left tackle in free agency last year, and it still didn't work.
Right.
No.
So they have to.
They have to, yes.
Dude is always injured.
Always.
The Cleveland Browns, which is funny. I'm going to throw them out there. Don't settle for Deshaun Watson, Cleveland.
Oh, they're not
we-
gonna.
Don't. No.
No?
I think he's a huge disappointment.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's a huge
Yes.
disappointment as
Sign
well.
Flacco. Sign him.
Right?
Right?
Sign
Why
him for a
not?
year.
Why not?
You know,
The
I'm not
guys love him.
I'm not going to be surprised if Cleveland
You know
gets to
what
the
you're gonna
AFC
get.
Championship.
I would love it.
You know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
Right?
You know what you're going
And
to
the
get.
guys love him.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Love
yes. And he's so calm. He's just sitting
Yeah.
on the sideline.
He's like Kirk Cousins.
yawning a little
Yeah,
bit because
I
it's
love,
past his
I love
bedtime.
all of his like stories about the locker room. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Being the old man in the locker
Being
room.
the old man.
Yeah.
Right, at
Yeah.
38. Is it
Yeah.
38?
He's like,
Not
if I
sure.
messed up in high school, these could be my kids. I was like, oh shit.
The Atlanta Falcons, stop ignoring the quarterback position.
Have to.
It has to happen. My God. And bring Russell Wilson in. Bring a
Why
seasoned-
not?
Why
bring
not?
a
You know who
seasoned
would look
veteran.
great in the black? Daniel Jones. I think the Falcons should go all in on Daniel Jones.
I did not see that.
my God.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
No?
That was a good one.
Okay.
I got it.
Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
That was I knew Brian Cashman and Daniel Jones were going to come up in this hour. I knew it was going to happen.
That's half of our personality on here.
The New Orleans Saints entertain the blow up that you've been delaying for years. Do we wish that should happen, or is it going to happen? I don't think it's going to
I
happen.
don't think so either.
Because Derek Carr is signed to a pretty substantial contract. And last but not least, Arizona Cardinals, don't be afraid to sell Kyler Murray.
Have to.
Right. Yes.
Happening.
Have to. Bye.
Okay. 6-pack of picks from week 17.
feel like I did not do well.
Wheels with 2.
Ugh.
Myself with 4. Had to.
Oh.
Had to.
CB, we failed.
Yep.
Well, good job going out on a limb with
That was,
Detroit.
and that was a great out on a limb, too.
Wheels, good
So
job
close.
going out on a limb with Cincy.
It was so close.
Yeah.
My out on a limb was New Orleans over
Saints.
Tampa. Because I knew Baker Mayfield was going to struggle at
Does
some
anyone
point.
want to win the South? Anybody?
Nope. Well, Tampa
like-
Bay,
that's
just
like-
win your game
That's
over
like
the
half my games on my pick 6 this week.
Carolina Panthers, right? Is that who Tampa's playing this week?
Yes.
Don't they
on
just
now.
have to win?
They just have
But
to win.
Mayfield is
Tampa Bay, you win, you're in.
But Mayfield is yeah, he's not
gotta-
feeling great.
He's got to suck it up. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Suck
what
it
he's
up,
doing,
dude.
buddy.
What does he have? Ribs? Is it his ribs?
I don't know.
No.
Wheels, you did have Dallas Ravens. We all had the Ravens. We all lost with Seattle because Pittsburgh all of a sudden
All of
has
a sudden,
found
Mason.
Mason Rudolph. Where
All
the
of a
hell
sudden-
was he
yeah.
6 weeks ago? Well, he was sitting on their bench.
Mm-hmm.
That was just stupid. We all picked Vegas. We didn't give Indy a chance. KC, Cincy, and you guys had Tampa, and I had New Orleans. So 58,
Okay.
58, 57.
Wow. Dang.
So we're going
Yeah.
week 18, and we will go the first round wild card weekend as well. CB, you are
CB,
up.
this is big. This is
You
big.
are up,
Okay. So I only chose the games that actually mattered.
Perfect.
which is perfect. That's the
Yeah.
way it should be.
First one up, and I think they've already decided, but Steelers at the Ravens. I think
Steelers, Ravens.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson is not playing.
Lamar Jackson is not playing.
Yeah.
They don't like each other, though.
They
I will
hate
tell
each
you
other.
that
Yeah.
much. The Ravens are not just going to roll over.
No.
Nope.
Pittsburgh wins this, and I do believe they will secure a wild
Yes,
card
I think
spot.
they
They're,
win-
they
they
win it
win,
in.
they're in.
Win it
Yep.
in.
They are sitting right now. I have them not even in my top 7 right here, but there's a lot that has to play
Correct.
out.
Yep.
So they win, they're in because Pittsburgh is at 9-7. Indianapolis is at 9-7. I hate to do this, and I think my sister's going to scream at me because I've been picking against the Steelers and
Yeah.
they've been winning.
Yeah. So
So what happens when I pick the Steelers?
Right.
Am I going to jinx them?
right. So you're really doing it for your sister. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the Steelers because I got to go for the win. And that defense is playing really well. George Pickens is all of a sudden looks like CeeDee Lamb.
He went
well,
off.
maybe not
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb,
He
but
went off,
that's
though.
2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
Mason Rudolph is like, I've been sitting on this bench all year
Yeah.
watching George Pickens just break straight down the
And nobody hits
sidelines,
him.
and nobody can hit him. So I'm just going to chuck it out there.
Yep.
I mean, he was on my bench. I could have won the fantasy football championship. I played George Pickens, for
Yeah.
God's sakes. Shout out Kathy Thurston with
Yeah.
Baby Got Dak. That was a hard fought.
It was. It
hard
was.
fought championship game. Love it. I'm going to go with the Steelers. I can't not.
It's tough
It's tough.
because they have more to play for.
Oh,
They
they're
do,
playing
but
for
the
a
Ravens
lot.
defense is still good.
And
Right. But I
Najee
wouldn't-
Harris, hello, he's on my bench
Yeah.
too last week.
Yeah.
120 yards, 2 touchdowns. What is
Yeah.
going on with the Steelers?
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin reamed him out.
Yeah.
I know he did.
You wonder how
He
long
tore him a new one.
You wonder how long the starters are going to play though.
That's what I wonder too. For
right?
the
Are they just
Ravens.
going to play half because they're not going to? If they don't play, they're not going to play for 3 weeks.
Right.
Have I mentioned I'm picking the Steelers? Oh, okay. I just wanted you guys to know that.
Usually, I think about these things when I pick them, and I had no thoughts today.
So who are you picking? Who are you picking?
Tough.
I'm going to go with the Steelers.
All right.
I'm gonna go against you guys. Then I'll go Ravens.
All right.
That will be my one against you guys.
My sister appreciates it that all three of us did not pick the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right. Who we got next, CB?
Oh yeah, right. That's what I'm doing. This is going to be a good game. Texans at the Colts.
Very
Texan
good
Colts
game.
I'm so
winner
excited for
moves
this.
on.
Winner moves
It's
on.
as
Winner
simple
in.
as winner is
I'm so
in.
excited for this game.
That's exciting.
I think
CJ
this
Stroud is
Saturday-
playing.
I think this is Saturday
Saturday night.
night game.
Oh, I can't wait. Texans.
I'm going Texans
Me too.
as well.
Me
yeah.
too. I love them.
Boy, we have no
Whoops.
faith in the
Poor
Gardner.
the
do we?
Gardner. And you know what? That coach, new coach of the Colts, now I'm going to stumble with his name. He should get some votes for Coach of the Year in his rookie season with the Colts. All right, so we're all going Texans. All right, win and you're in. Love games like that.
Me
Both
too.
teams battling.
And it's Saturday night, which means I
Jonathan
won't fall asleep.
Taylor's
Right?
playing well.
Whatever.
You're welcome, Kathy. Whatever. Give Jonathan JT a shout out because Wheels loves him. Sorry, I digress.
Bears at the Packers.
Hottest team in
Will
football.
they do it? Will they do it?
And Packers win.
Yeah, they're in.
They're in.
Oh,
Right?
really?
Packers
need to win, and
they
they're-
are in. And
Repeat
I
of
talk
last
about
year.
the Steelers. Packers are playing some good ball. They are. That Jaden Reed, the rookie receiver for
He's
the Packers,
good. I'm
he's
really glad I
so
gave him
good.
up.
And
Fantasy.
he's questionable though. Packers.
Packers.
The Packers are. Yeah.
Go ahead, CB. You know you want to do it.
I want
I'm
to
gonna
choose
go.
to be
I'm
on
gonna
the
go the
spot.
Bears. I'm gonna go the
Okay.
Bears. The Packers are terrible at the run against the run.
They are.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
That's a good one to pick the upset.
Yeah,
in.
I like that
really is
pick.
a good
I like
one.
that pick.
Oh, I haven't picked an upset yet, or one against you guys.
Okay. Next one is Seahawks at the Cardinal. Wait, how many games do I have? 1, 2, 3.
Seahawks playing the red hot Cardinals.
No, they are hot.
Because they won. They're not giving up clearly. 'cause
No.
I texted
reason-
my friend as soon as that game ended. I was like, "How you doing, buddy?"
Diehard Eagle fan. Diehard Philly
He's like,
fan.
"I hate it here." I was like, "I love it here."
James Conner is the reason I almost won in fantasy football. He's got the fountain of youth going.
Yeah.
And again, they're just having fun like the Bears.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals. They got nothing to lose. Like, go out.
Right?
And I'm not,
This is
I think the Seahawks are, up and down.
This might be the one where I go against you guys. Just because I have to have one. I don't know. I'm going to go with the Hawks. Because I have to go one. But I don't know. CB might be following.
I might be
the
going
Hawks.
against you guys.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Cardinals.
Yeah, CB.
I want Week 18 has notoriously
And there's
been
another one.
insane.
Yeah.
There's another rookie coach that came from the Eagles, Gannon, who's the rookie coach for the Cardinals, and the other one was the offensive coordinator of the Eagles, who's with the Colts. That coaching tree out of Philly
Yeah.
is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I mean, Gannon's getting the most. The Colts are fighting for a playoff. Cardinals might not be, but they've been in so many
They
games
have.
this year.
Absolutely.
So they're going down, venturing down the right path now. Just trade Kyler Murray.
Have to do it. Bills at Miami.
Oh, my Bills. Whoa,
Bills.
whoa.
Yeah, I think we're all choosing the Bills.
Bills.
I
Bills.
know.
Bills.
I
I
knew
almost said
that was going to
Miami.
happen, but I was like, I can't not choose this game.
My dad would be happy we all picked the Bills. He's a big Bills
He's
fan.
a Bills fan.
He
I
is.
did not
yeah.
know that about Papa Wheels. I won't say anything. I tell you what, next year the Jets are winning the AFC East anyways.
I think
Okay.
so too.
And then this is the last one, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Last one is the Bucks Panthers.
Oh, Bucks Panthers.
My God.
I will go with Tampa Bay because
I am
they
too.
had their. I knew they were going to fall on their face at some point, and it was against New Orleans. So
Yeah.
I will go
I'm
against
gonna
the
choose-
Bucks.
Yeah, I'm going to choose. Yeah, the Bucks.
I mean, Carolina had negative 2 yards passing in the first half of their game last week.
And there's another move that.
But there have been crazier shit that happens.
I know.
Another move Kathy Thurston made the night before goes with the Jags defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I stuck with the Browns because I have to. Who
Right.
got me 15 points? So I'm like, oh, this is
Yeah.
nice. She picks up the Jags, and I'm like, son of a bitch. And she washes out my 15 points.
Yeah.
Good job, Kathy. Good
Yeah.
job. Hey, that's
Yeah.
what fantasy football is all about. So there is last week of the regular season. We will do wild card.
Come down to the
weekend.
wild card for all of us, I
Yep.
think.
We got 4 minutes. You want to do some whiteboard questions?
Yeah, sure.
Whiteboard
We got
questions. Whiteboard questions.
These were hard to pick because I was like, who's sitting, who's playing?
Right, it is.
Half
It's
of these
tough.
games don't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
So this was pretty tough.
Agreed.
First one up. In the winning you're in, CJ Stroud, Minshew, or Jordan Love, who has the better game?
Ooh.
Solid. I hope so.
I hope so. He has more weapons if they're all healthy anyway.
What round do you think he's getting drafted in next year?
I might actually have to take a quarterback from the
Oh, exactly. Oh, my God.
I know.
If
I
that
know.
happens, oh, my God.
I know.
I mean, we spent the first 4 weeks saying
Yeah.
Ohio State quarterbacks
Yeah.
don't make it
I know.
in the NFL.
Yep.
Good job, CJ Stroud. I will take my 7.5 out of my mouth any day for somebody to prove me wrong.
All right. The next
Love
one
it.
is just like there's like 6 parts of it, but it's real quick. You're just going to say yay or nay.
Okay.
So these are the players that are playing for bonuses.
Oh!
All
In
right.
sync.
Are they going to get some money? First one is Dalton Schultz needs 6 more receptions to get 250K.
And that's going up against the Colts, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Nay.
I'm going to say nay as well.
Just
because of the other
all
weapons.
those other
Mhm.
weapons.
Yeah. Okay.
We might both get that one wrong.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Devin Singletary needs 74 yards for 250,000.
Yep.
Scrimmage yards.
Yeah.
Yes. Yay.
CJ's going to hit him out in the flat, and
Yeah.
he's going to bust one for 40. So there's half of it.
Easy 250.
Yep.
OBJ needs 5 more receptions for 250,000.
Why?
He had to have like
Because
He
he's
had to
OBJ.
catch 30 balls this year?
40.
No way.
Yep.
I was being
Yeah.
facetious.
Nay.
Yep.
Not without Lamar.
Really?
Yep.
That's all they 40 catches.
Yep.
Here you go.
Yep.
Yep.
What? God,
Yep.
these agents
I
are
know.
brilliant.
They're good at their job.
No. He had 1 catch last week.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
with Lamar. No.
I think this is the easiest one, and it's the
Or nay.
most amount of money. Chris Jones needs half a sack for $1.25 million.
That's how they got him back into camp,
Yep.
huh?
Yep. For the incentive.
Yep. Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, that's an
Half a
easy
sack,
one.
that's
Half a
easy.
sack, easy.
He literally can just watch somebody else do it and go
and
like
tap,
Yeah.
tap him.
I ain't gonna.
I just made $1
Hand
million.
on your shoulder. Woo, I'm taking y'all out
That's
for drinks
insane,
after the
though.
game.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, though.
That is crazy, CB. That is fabulous that you threw those out there. That's
Yeah,
a lot
those
of
are
fun.
great.
couple more, real quick. DeAndre Hopkins. He needs. Okay, there's a few of these, so this is what we'll finish here. Mayfield has a ton, but I don't think he'll get a couple. So DeAndre Hopkins, he has for 250 for each of these, 250,000 for each of these. He needs 75 receptions. He has 68.
Nay.
Nay. Yeah.
He has.
Unless they force feed them.
I know, but I don't think so.
They'll be playing from behind, but and it's Ryan Tannehill, I think. I don't think Levis is playing.
I think he'll make this. He needs.
Levis loves Hopkins.
Yeah.
He needs 49 yards for
part two to this?
to get 1050. Yeah, to get 1,050 yards total this year, he needs 49.
I'll give him the yardage. I won't give him the
39.
receptions.
I'm going to say
Does that
nay.
sound like I'm contradicting myself, though? I think he gets the yards.
Okay. He needs 39.
Okay.
39. Yeah.
But he needed how many receptions?
75. He's got 68.
Yeah, okay. No. 3 catches for whatever yards he needs. Those yards.
And then he's
Contradiction
probably
right
not
there.
going to get this. He needs 8 touchdowns. He has 6.
Nay.
Nay.
Yeah. He wasn't getting
Unless
that.
Will Levis is suiting up, and he'll force feed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would 100% force feed him.
But one game.
And who are they
$250,000?
playing? Aren't they playing? Whoa. Who are they playing?
The Titans are playing. I have them.
Jacksonville. Because Jacksonville just needs
Yep.
to win
Yep.
to win the AFC South. Easier freaking said
Right.
than done with
Again.
that
With
team.
the Titans. Yep.
Yeah.
Most disappointing team for me, and it's
The
not the
Jags.
Falcons,
You
or
love
is
the
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I mean, I built them up, put them on
You
a
did,
pedestal.
man.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence was up here.
Got
for you.
my Jacksonville T-shirt that's literally sitting in the dirty hamper for the last 2 months. I don't need it clean because I'm not going to wear it.
Right.
So, yeah, let me down big time. Big time. That's it. God, those hours go by fast.
They go so
Thanks,
fast.
CB. That was
CB,
fun.
that was a good one. Those were good. The outside the
tough.
box ones, I'm telling you.
Right? Outside the box. Hey, first of all, we're back on Monday.
Yes.
And we will have a special guest calling in from North Carolina to talk to us about football after week 18. And all I'm going to say is if the Steelers don't win, you're going to hear him screaming from North Carolina. With that being said, enjoy week 18. Huge congrats again to Michigan and Washington.
Yeah,
Even though they're
man.
not listening to us, man, that was some fun football.
Awesome.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy the last week of the regular season. We'll be here Monday at 6 p.m. See you then.